Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. As always, like, subscribe, follow, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. And also you can follow on social media, Instagram, TikTok, or X. I do apologize for my lack of visibility on social media recently. I have been posting on some stuff on Twitter. And unfortunately, Instagram, TikTok, I haven't really posted, especially when I do new episodes. Those haven't posted either. So I do apologize for my lack of appearance on my social media page. Episodes have been out. I have 2 episodes, obviously talking about the article in the Sun, and then as well as talking about how it's just been about one game with Manchester United. It's been just the last few. So please check those out: YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, if you'd like to listen to. Listen, it is a good week to be back. We have 2 games going on Sunday. We're in a week where we're going to start a long stretch for the women's squad. What a way to start the stretch with a League Cup final on Sunday. Chelsea, Man United, round 3. Here we go. We just lost them in the FA Cup. Let's hope for a redemption. As always, going for the win. Let's hope for a trophy that we're lifting at the end on Sunday. The men's squad are back. This is one of 2 games, and then we're back on an international break. We just had time off. We just had time off. And here the question is, were the players training? Were they? Because I did episodes. I did an episode on Sunday with talking about how the Sun reported how the players feel bad for the way they've been playing, and it's due to the lack of games. And, well, guess what? The players did this. The players not showing up when it mattered in the FA Cup. I don't want to be repeating this because I've done it the last couple episodes. But, talking about that, basically they were getting a reduction in training, which is what they wanted. They felt that the intensity under Amram was too much, and now we're seeing the after effect. And then the funny thing is, the next day we get a spin saying how everything is great at Manchester United. Jesus Christ, it's such bullshit. Seriously, it is. And the thing is that's spinning away, it's kind of taken away from what's going on with the women's squad, which is that they're in a league final. They're in a cup final this week, which I'm excited about. Preview is going to be happening tomorrow. I'm going to do the preview tomorrow, and then I'm going to do the men's squad on Friday. Why not? Because it's important. It's the League Cup final. We're going for a trophy. Let's look at the positivities of what's going on with Manchester United. Let's just not focus away from the men's squad for a bit. I know mostly my episodes have been with the men's squad, but let's look at it here. We're getting ready to go. Women were out on international break, coming into a very important match. We just played the squad just before the international break. This next set of games for the women's squad is going to be, I believe, 7 games. Let me just get this up here. Because it's insane what they're going through. And no updates yet on Toon, Galton, Frida. They should hopefully all be there, hopefully back this week, I hope. Toon was expected to be back around. But yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 games from now until the 1st of April. Yeah. So we play Sunday in the final. We play West Ham on the Wednesday. We play Everton on the Saturday. Champions League is back on the 25th against Bayern. That's at 4 o'clock. We have the derby on the 28th at 9:30. And then April 1st, second leg of United versus Bayern. So, yeah, it's It's an important stretch for this. Now the men's squad have 2 games. They have Sunday against Villa, and I believe it's Sunday against Villa, and then Bournemouth on the Friday. Great, and then we're not back until the 13th of April because it's international break. Yeah, it's again, some players will be off playing for their country, some will not be. Hopefully players are training. Hopefully there are players at Carrington training. Now, for this break, obviously there's friendlies, but the importance of this break is one thing is finding out who the final teams are for the World Cup. We're finding that out. So we're going to see how that goes out, especially the final European spots. So we're going to see who's going to be in those spots come this World Cup. And yes, we're well familiar with the chaos that's going on right now, getting this World Cup organized. So hopefully I get to go see some matches. I do. I'm in Ontario. I'm not too far from Toronto. I'm not too far from certain, well, depending on how far I want to drive, I'm not too far from some of the matches in the US either. But Toronto is a little bit closer to where I am compared to trying to drive to other states and other cities to go and watch matches. But yeah, but going back to it, Manchester United, this is the one thing that's important. Is one, the lack of game time, which means the quality for these players. The players have not been playing well. They haven't been. And listen, we can't be starting off slow with the men's squad. Villa is going to be playing this week in Europa. Hopefully that takes advantage, but that can just get them warmed up because they were out of the FA Cup as well. So we have to be prepared. Again, like United are not, like, going to this match, it concerns me. It really does. And that's the one thing. This game concerns me because, and I'll talk about it on Friday's preview. But yeah, it concerns me because they have not done well with so much time off. We've seen it here. We've seen it with Liverpool. Or not Liverpool. We saw it with Everton. We even saw it with, like I said, it may look like the last 4 games, but Fulham, even Tottenham, there were, you can see the signs there. And also, this team doesn't like to show up when, this team doesn't like to show up when the game is on the line or when it matters. We've seen that here. And they only show up when it's a top 6 team or the big matches like Arsenal and Manchester United or Manchester City. No, they were not playing themselves. Sometimes they play themselves out of a game. But yeah, like we have a game, and yes, it does concern me. It does concern me about this week. I'm still going for the win, but it still concerns me. I'll go into more about that on Friday when I do the preview episode. But first Sunday, yes, it is going to be a doubleheader. Watch along. Both squads play around the same time. The men's squad kicking off at 10. The women's finals kicking off at 10:15. So I will be going on a little bit early, probably aiming for around 9:45 to kick off the stream. And then we will be getting ready for the women's game at 10:15. I will be updating about the men's squad. I will have it on, but the 100% focus is the women's final. It is. It's a league final. Don't get me wrong. The men are fighting for Champions League spot, but for the season that the women are having, like going for a trophy. I know we're out of the FA Cup. We can hope that we can catch up to City, slip up. We do face City during this. Like, we are facing a lot of good teams during that stretch. Again, the derby, that's an important one. And that derby comes in between us playing Byron and our Byron legs. So, and then we get a rematch that's not until the 26th because they're off for 25 days after April 1st for a break. But yeah, and again, we have West Ham, Everton. No game should be slept on. So we have our challenges, but it's an important. The next like 2-3 weeks is so important for the women's squad, and the fatigue and health, and that's the one thing too. Hopefully, getting everyone back. Hopefully, Sandberg is back too. That's a name I forgot to mention earlier. So again, like if we can get them all back, I know Frida was expected to be back for the FA Cup. Hopefully, with this extended time, we have her back for this league final. Hopefully, I know Toon has been training. Hopefully, I don't know if she's back on the pitch training with the squad, getting game fit. Hopefully, I hope she's ready to go. Just having everyone back, especially at this time, at this level, when we need to be fighting off Chelsea, fighting off Arsenal for a Champions League spot, trying to catch up to Man City when we play Man City as well. And the last time when we played City, you can see that they were all over us, plus our fatigue as well. That game is actually going to be held at Old Trafford, I believe. Yeah. So that's at Old Trafford. And also, I believe the first match is also at Old Trafford too. Yeah, so they're going to be having 2 matches at Old Trafford because everything else is on the road. Or they're at home. They're at the other stadium, at Unity Stadium, and then they're away for West Ham, and then off to obviously Byron. But yes, we have three matches in a row, which is at home, which is great. 2 at Old Trafford, which is great as well. It's always great when you have a derby at Old Trafford. It's great that the women's quarterfinal is at Old Trafford as well. But yes, these are all, every match is important. Like we have, the women's squad has a lot of stuff to do, and like the adversity the squad has faced, especially when it comes to this amount of games. And that's the thing too, right? The fitness has improved from the beginning of the season. You saw what happened when we went on those stretches of long games, like fatigue, rotation. Going into this, we have to still make sure that we're managing it because there's not much time off in between the games. And to have Byron City and Byron in that span can take a toll as well. So they have a lot of stuff, and Skinner's got to make sure we're focusing on rotation. And hopefully Sandberg is back. Again, Rolfo, you can use as a back. We've seen it there. The one thing that is great is the depth now has improved a little bit, especially with the 3 acquisitions that we brought in for Wangerham, Luckrest, and Schuler. Having them there as well. There is depth of youth as well that you can bring in, like Drury. But having those backs, that's the one thing too. You want to make sure everyone is there. Because as of right now, and we also hope that Riviere is healthy too, because she didn't play in that FA Cup loss. She was out in injury. Just pulling that up right now. Yeah, because she was out with that injury. So hopefully because she needs to make sure that we're healthy. Because right now, when we went into that match, our depth was Lundqvist, Letitia, Turner, Janssen, and our backups was Gabrielle George. And nothing against George, it's just that was our only defender for rotation, and we went into a long match, and we went into extras, and again, it's just we only had 5 defenders, and one of them was a sub, and that's the thing, right? Because and I believe, if we went down a player, that would hurt us even more going away. So having Sandberg, having Riviere back, that is just great for depth. So, and then having Rolfo back too, because I know we've had her start at a back position too. So having her there, so you would have 4 players there to help. So again, just even having Rolfo and Riviere does help. It helps with rotation. It helps with start. It gives an option again. So when we have potential injuries or yellow cards, we can make the subs without risking a red. Like again, getting healthy is back, and our back end, that's where the risk has been. That's where it's not the risk, it's just the injury right there now, and that's where it's going to hit us. So again, hopefully having all those players back ready to go for this stretch. I know Sandberg was going to be out for a bit, but hopefully soon, hopefully before the Byron games, because we need that. We need that depth. We need that security. And again, like, you can rotate with with George, with Letitia, Turner, likewise you can rotate with them all. But again, rotating with only playing a back four when you only have one sub is tough. So hopefully having Letitia back, hopefully using Rolfo as a back as well, left or right back, can help. So again, I'll discuss more of it going into the preview, especially with the Champions League, especially with Skinner. Should be making his press conference soon, probably Friday. I will be doing my preview tomorrow as well, lineup predictions as well. So hopefully, all right. But going back to the men's squad, listen, there's obviously always so much going on with the men's squad. The men's squad, obviously, injury news. De Ligt is still out. Martinez has picked it up. This is the one thing that's crazy, and this is the one thing that's, like, if you're looking at it here, I'm pretty sure Martinez picked it up after the first FA Cup break. When you're not playing as much and you're reducing training, there's bound to be injuries coming up. There is, and that's what we're seeing here. Like, De Ligt goes back a lot further, and that's the concerning thing. Is what you think one injury is just small and quick to recover turns out to be something bigger, and that's the concern too. So hopefully we have him back. Again, Dorgu still out. But like I was saying before going into it, like, yeah, Sunday is coming up and we're only playing 2 games and then we're off for 3 weeks. This can hurt the men's squad. Some of them are not going to be going off to play in friendlies or get prepared. This could hurt the squad. Why? Because, well, they're not playing as much. Like, movement. I'm wondering if anyone was, during this time off, if they gave the players time off, like vacation. Come on, we have games to be training. You're like, where's the urgency? We're going into a game this weekend, and there has to be urgency. We have 2 games. These next 2 games are urgent. Every game is urgent. Like I was mentioned before, the women have this long stretch, and they still have to be able to battle off Chelsea, Arsenal, go against City, have quarterfinals, make sure that we're not dropping points, rotation health. These guys are on the complete opposite. They're barely playing. They didn't show up in competitions when we needed them. Don't talk to me about manager tactics and all that shit. But here we are. Here we are. This is the result of ownership. And I don't want this to be another banter episode. Like, I'm sorry. But injuries and everything concern. And we can talk about transfers until the day comes home, about predictions and whatever, and who we're going to sign. I know there's talks of the Oshiman and Jonathan David looking at getting them for potential signings. They're into it for over 100 million, really, because I thought we were over in for 100 million for Anderson. We have Baliba, we have Wharton that we're going for, Tonali, Bruno Gutierrez. Did I butcher that? Give me a second here. I butchered that. That is on me. Where am I? Men's squad. Going back. Yeah, and the one thing too is they don't want to sign anyone over the age of 26, but we're going to re-sign. We're going to try and give Bruno more money, and then we're going to try and get more money, and then to Bruno and Maguire, who are over the age of 30. So I don't know. Bruno Guimaraes. Like we have potential targets, but again, we can talk about every player that's out there as potential targets. But again, like I've always said, we don't know until we've seen them signing with our social media team, contract photo up, ready to go. We also don't know who our manager is. Nagelsmann, if they're going for him, he's not going to be here until after the World Cup, mid-July, end of July. And the season starting kind of near the end of August, that's not enough time to have someone come in. So right now we're in a situation here where it's a concern. United are in a situation for the manager search. Again, a couple of weeks ago, I did an episode on Carrick being the manager. It wasn't because he was the right person for the job. It's because they're going to spin it like he was the right decision all along, that they knew right away, which all of us are going to know it's a load of shit. And I know I'm on repeat again for this episode, but we're at that point where we're going to hype up getting Nagelsmann, and it's going to be Michael Carrick. You know why? Because Nagelsmann's off at the World Cup. Carrick's ready to go. He can be here, continue on, and you can start preparing for your transfers and targets. There you go. Bruno, you don't know what's happening with Bruno, and it's in his own camp. He won't be deciding until after the World Cup. But if they're going to go, like, again, whatever is going to happen, whatever manager comes in has to install a culture like what Amram was doing. And everything Amram was trying to do and build just threw away. Wilcox, Barada, Sir Jim has destroyed that. It wasn't about the style of play. It was about what they're trying to create. And I made this comment on Sunday that the low Rio interview is just hot air, and I'll say bullshit when he's making those comments of what Amram tried to instill. We're still trying to keep it on. It was for Arsenal and City, and they haven't done anything since. Yeah, you can talk about those games, but you saw things starting to drop off after those two wins. You did. Don't get me wrong, I gave praises and high rewards, but you can see that that's where it started. That you saw with Tottenham, you saw at the beginning of those matches. Like, again, we needed a red card to help us get to where we were with Tottenham. We just faced two teams last week who both got red cards, and we struggled against both. Let's not pretend that we dominated Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace was better than us. They had to get a red, and we didn't do much. They were still taking opportunities. It was just lack of quality on where they couldn't score. But Newcastle, what? We can talk about those 5 minutes or 8 minutes or so. But if you look at the 45, we're up a person, and we couldn't capitalize. They scored and did a walk-off. So it wasn't a walk-off. It was before the 90th minute, but you know what I'm leaning towards. But the concerns are there, and it's showing. We're losing Martinez. Now the question is, obviously De Ligt, we're going to give another season because, again, something happened that was severe. But let's look at it here. Martinez is injured. He's not playing as much. Okay. I like United have to start making change. Like, United's fitness has to improve because this is what happened with Ten Hag. This is the exact same thing that happened with Ten Hag. Injuries, fitness department, but he was trying to up the intensity. Amram was trying to up the intensity, but here we are now with what's going on. Whatever manager comes in, like Carrick, there's no way Carrick's going to be able to sustain this. There's no way. Because if we qualify for Champions League, he's going to have to change everything. He's going to have to change the intensity, the practices, the coaching. It has to go there. It can't just be like, oh, let the players give the freedom. No, we've seen that what's happened before in the past. Nagelsmann's going to come in and it's going to be too late. Whatever manager has to come in and should not be involved in the World Cup. And that's why Roberto Martinez, Nagelsmann have to be out. De Zerbi, potentially, whether the rumors are. So I will have to change my stance, but again, just based off everything, again, it's going to be like I don't want to be repeating it, but chances are we're going to be seeing Carrick as potentially the manager at the end of the year because, again, of what I've said. But that's going to have to change. Everything that we're seeing now is going to have to change for next season. And then I'm sure he's going to get turned on and whatever and so forth. But I'm sorry that for the men's squad I had to make this so negative, and then the women's squad talking about, the intensity and everything that they have going on to fight for and all that stuff. But, but I'm going to leave it there. I am back tomorrow, going to do the women's squad preview, doing the men's squad on Friday, and then Sunday, watch along episode again, starting off with the men's squad, and then I'm going to lead into taking over with the women's squad against Chelsea for the Champions League, or not Champions League final, against the League Cup final against Chelsea. So don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, leave a comment. Thank you to those who have been subscribing and following and downloading. I greatly do appreciate it. I know I've been lacking on my social media, Instagram, TikTok, or X. I will try to be better as best as I can. But again, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Yes, it is Wednesday. Didn't get the episode out yesterday. But enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy your Thursday. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.